Great. She had it on, kept it off. Please bring it over here. And my calls just keep dropping off like flies here. This is just fabulous. What happened to my MS? You know what? I changed the name. If I had to change the name of the course, then things might have gotten better. Right here. My smiley face gets this right behind me. Okay? You have to zoom it out. You have it?
Yep.
It looks like it's too high. You have my face and the back of this. Like, yeah, have my chest up and then the back of this,
yes,
right?
Sir.
All right, sounds good. Hello. We're doing this as backup. The recording is not working. God, I'm so happy about that. All righty, great job. Community service, and that's it. So everybody, please look on their announcements tomorrow, their website, and give us some constructive criticism. Guys, tell me off the top of your head, what do you think about this website? A, B, or C?
A.
Or D?
D.
Well, what would you create? Tell me 3 things you changed.
I changed how the black has blue writing on it. It doesn't really look good.
So you take the black away and make it white?
No, I mean I changed the text color because there's blue words on the black text.
Okay, so you can't see, that's good. So you like the white on the black?
Yeah, it looks still better.
Okay.
What is your
White words on the black background.
The what?
The white words on the black background.
I think that looks pretty good because you know, my cell phone, I can find it and see it better. What else though? Give me some ideas. Yes?
There's like so many links just right there on the side of the page. I kind of narrow it down into categories to where if you click on one, it has a list of links that you can go on.
So you like a file cabinet thing where I have old news, new news, curriculum. And then you pull the file cabinet out and you have the links underneath it. So you're saying it's busy.
Yeah.
Write that down tomorrow, okay? Sounds great. Okay, guys, please open up your books to page 11, lesson 1, chapter 1. Why machines do not fly the way birds do. Can't you just see that as a future test question? Gee, that is the way to go. Let me try one last time with my 14th call here. And that would be great. Come on, baby. I bet it's the bad karma of changing the name from MS102. Go, baby, go. Nope, no recording. I am so happy. But at least we have the backup camera. There you go. And I'm trusting you, Walensky, that I look great in this, right? Alrighty. Why do, has anybody done the homework from the last couple days? This is the question. Did y'all do it? Over did. Did you get 100? Did you get 10 points? We graded it today. Why machines do not fly the way birds do? Why? Hello? Why? Yes, sir.
Is it because birds are lighter?
Birds are light. They're incredibly light. What's the propulsion on a bird?
The air currents, sir.
And also,
Flapping wing.
yeah, I mean, you don't have an afterburner. You know, we got different propulsion. Y'all like that? I'm watching the same thing, you realize there. Okay, so different propulsion. They're flapping. They're lighter. What else? What else is different?
Birds can move their feathers.
Birds can. We don't have feathers on our airplanes right now, right? We don't have feathers. What else? What are some other reasons? Why are birds different? Bones are hollow. That's good. That's good. What about Bernoullis equation and Bernoullis principle? Walensky, make sure you're recording the right stuff here. Okay. Hello? Wake up. All right. Bernoullis principle says what? That was one of your questions on the assignment also. What's the Bernoullis principle? Yes, sir.
That
pressure increases when velocity decreases.
So here we go. Air flows over here faster. The air goes this way slower. And so what was your point? Was the velocity does what?
Increases when the pressure decreases.
As the velocity increases, what happens to the pressure?
It decreases.
Decreases, yes. This is a negative pressure up here. And this is a positive pressure here. So when you have, this is the miracle that ended up turning into flight. Okay? It was a miracle that Bernoulli in 1700s discovered this principle that the Wright brothers used in the 1900s, over 100 years later, 120 years later, to learn you to fly. If this is the airfoil, and we curve it in different curves, the air on the top is going faster than the air on the bottom, and consequently, when you fly, your wings are literally sucked up into the air. And so when birds are flapping, they're producing the propulsion, but their actually flight is depending on the curvature or the camber of the wing. When you see how many people have been to a beach and seen a pelican fly? And they sit here like this and they fly a long time. And if you actually watch them, that is the curvature of their wings, and actually their camber and their angle of attack increases as they get slower, which is a little advanced for this, but I teach that in my Science of Flight class. And this is the miracle that actually happened to allow us to fly. Okay? Well, then, Skinny, you just stand up here and be with us here. Okay? So, the wings are designed to make airflow faster over their tops, and the pressure drops, and the wings move faster there. It's called the Bernoullis Lift, or the induced lift. We are having lots of fun technical difficulties here. There we go. Alrighty. Tell me about Sir Isaac Newton. That's his picture there on the bottom of page 11. What did he do, guys? Yes, sir.
Came up with the theory of motion.
Exactly. Do you think that probably a pretty good question there on that? The Newtonian Lift. That's good. Is that every action there is an equal and opposite action. Therefore, when a pilot angles the wind up, the angle of the plane up into the wind, it causes it by a reaction on the wing to climb or descend. And that's the dynamic lift that goes. We can actually, there are actually some great pictures on YouTube. Maybe I should play it for you guys. You realize that the first people who experimented with flight jumped off of towers and thought they could flap their wings and fly. And they ended up dying. Okay? There are some pretty, I should do that maybe tomorrow when we have an extra day. They thought that the feathers were the difference in your wings versus a glider's wings. They thought the feathers had lifting power. The feathers don't have any lifting power. The feathers are what allows the air to go through and produces the camber of the wing or produce the propulsion of the wing. The feathers don't necessarily give the lift to the wings. The bottom line was that was the Wright brothers. The Wright brothers did not try to fly like the birds did. They tried to glide, and their actual results was experimentation and success. Just like I think I showed you all the video at the beginning of the whole course when we were talking about the origin of flight with the Air Force. Okay, so this ends lesson 1. And why don't you everybody turn their books to page 14 for lesson 2, the early days of flight. And what I need is, how about, this is a good one. How about someone, Cadet McGee, why don't you please read the story there on page 14 about San Juan Hill. First of all, why do people in Prescott care about the Battle of San Juan Hill? Why do the people of Prescott care about the Battle of San Juan? What was the Battle of San Juan? Yes, sir.
It was a milestone in military aviation.
But why do we care about it? Very good try. When was it, guys? When was it? 1898. It was a battle against the Spanish, okay, over control of Cuba, okay, like the Cuba island that we can't go to anymore. And there was a rather famous Prescottonian who was involved in this fight. Does anybody know who that was? Excuse me? Theodore Roosevelt. Is he from Prescott? He was born right down the road here, right?
Really?
No, thank you very much for playing. Good try. Yes, sir.
Lieutenant Colonel Joseph E. Maxwell.
Thank you very much for playing. Next. Who's a Prescottonian that fought in the Battle of San Juan Hill? I woke up. Go ahead. Bucky O'Neill. Yes, a very, very famous Prescottonian. Actually wasn't born here, but he was the sheriff, like Sheriff Arpaio, or the sheriff. He was the dude of Prescott. And he actually, because he believed in Franklin Delano Roosevelt, no, Teddy Roosevelt, he volunteered and he raised a bunch of 18-year-old guys from Prescott to go serve America on horseback and attack the Spanish in Cuba. And Bucky O'Neill, our famous guy, what happened to him? He died. And he was very famous for dying. And where did we put his fabulous picture? His fabulous statue? Downtown. It's the statue downtown, which is internationally famous because the same person who did that statue carved a very famous other picture on the side of a mountain. Mount Rushmore, Borgham, yes. The same guy that carved that did the famous Bucky O'Neill statue carved Mount Rushmore. So, we have a big attachment to this, and I found this really, really exciting. So Cadet McGee, with that introductory, why don't you please tell us about this, this early days of flight and why we're interested in the Battle of San Juan Hill.
Yes, sir. It had been a tough trip for Lieutenant Colonel Joseph E. Maxwell in the U.S. Army Single Corps. The year was 1898, and the United States was at war with Spain. 6 years earlier, the Marine Corps had formed a balloon section. For the first time since the Civil War, the Army was back in the business of spying from the sky. Now, Lieutenant Colonel Maxfield was in charge of a single balloon. It was the only one the Army had. Maxfield traveled alone with the balloon from New York to Florida, then with troops and some equipment. He sailed for Cuba, and that country, then a Spanish colony, was one of the major theaters of the Spanish-American War. Maxfield's party included 3 officers and 24 enlisted men. Only one had ballooning experience, Sergeant Will I.D. Baldwin, who had once worked as a stunt balloonist and had built a balloon with his wife the previous year. None of the others, including Maxfield, had ever even seen a balloon go up. The party sailed into Santiago Harbor 22nd June because they lacked supplies. They would be able to inflate the balloon just once. They wouldn't be able to reinflate it. The terrain was rugged. It took them a whole day to get from the harbor to their headquarters. And once they unpacked their balloon, they found that parts of it had stuck together in the heat. Other parts had disintegrated. But somehow they managed to inflate the balloon using hydrogen cylinders, and they got it into the air several times. On 1st July 1898, during the Battle of Summer Hill, the soldiers went aloft to scout the enemy position. They made an initial ascent at some distance from the battle. The leader of the soldiers, Lieutenant Colonel George M. Derby, then ordered the balloon forward, got it to within 650 yards of the Spanish infantry trenches. Maxfield feared this was too close to the enemy. In a way, he was right. By the end of the day, the balloon had been hit by so many enemy bullets that it was useless. But not before it gave observers aboard a totally different view of the battle. Because of what they'd seen, the balloonists suggested new ways to direct American troops advancing against the Spanish. They also identified new artillery targets. The battle was a big U.S. victory. Teddy Roosevelt Rough Riders made a name for themselves in it. The Buffalo Soldiers, members of an all-American African-American regiment, got to show what they were made of. The Battle of San Juan Hill was a milestone in military aviation. Spies in the sky may have decided the battle. It was a good day for Maxfield explosion.
Alrighty, so 1898, can you imagine that actually being a large part of your aviation history? The fact that, the one balloon in the Army ended up